So I'm not going to outrightly spoil anything in this video. However, I think this video will go ahead and spoil you because even if I try to hide things in conjecture, you're going to piece together things because I'm going to be talking about Batman. Even though I'm going to be talking about Batman in Gotham Knights, that is the game that came out in 2022 in October, where most of the superhero gaming community about lost their minds, were dragging me. I was getting threats. People were looking up my name and typing it up in the chat, basically trying to insult me because of a superhero game I had nothing to do with. But now we're in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm starting to see people ping me telling me that, oh man, look at people talking positively about Gotham Knights. So I thought I'd come in here and, maybe do a little bit of, I don't know what it is, tootin' my hornin', however it is you want to call it, but, in jest. Because I really do think when I was talking about the story for Gotham Knights, I was like, well, story execution was not necessarily my favorite. I gave the game a 6 out of 10, but I did see something that whoever was able to come to the conclusion of Batman in Gotham Knights, I really was okay with the fact that they made his death meaningful and heroic in a sense. Even though they did it twice, which was probably too much, I think maybe at the end they should have just kind of gone without or given us a whole different direction so that we were probably expecting one way and then, bam, they slapped us with something entirely different. So that's pretty much it. However, with the Suicide Squad treatment, a lot of folk are now saying things like, man, even Gotham Knights did Batman's treatment right. And I'm looking at these tweets going, are my eyes seeing visions? What is the meaning of this? Synth Potato over here, even though I'm not a fan of his post so far in Suicide Squad, and I may tell you guys why, I may not tell you guys why. It's not like I think he's wrong. No, I just, disagree with him in a sense, but, it is what it is. And there are other things that I'm sure we probably align with if you actually go back and think about, say specific points in terms of gaming. He says, Gotham Knights did Batman's death 100 times better than Suicide Squad. Now, I don't know if there are any spoilers coming here, but please help me out. If you're not wanting to be spoiled, maybe stop this video. Batman is not a character you just have his weakest villain and expect fans to be okay with it. The issue isn't it's called Kill the Justice League. Of course, it's how they did it. This is Arkham Batman. The fact this we've never seen before from Gotham Knights. The fact this random universe Batman that we had never seen before from Gotham Knights got this legendary scene and Arkham Batman didn't is a travesty. Rocksteady despises their legacy. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the norm of subversion of expectations or I would say this subversion of expectation that these creatives want to make the norm. It is not the norm. I've said this I've been on this conversation for a long time. I'm playing Suicide Squad because it's my one last, hey, Rocksteady, whatever. You guys gave me 3.5 games. And I've said this before. I'm a loyalist and it's almost to a fault. So, it is what it is. Call it what you want. If you're the kind of person where you're like, nah, I can't dial with this, even though it's Rocksteady, that's fine. But somebody like me, it's hard for me to, just back away when I was just singing all of their accolades, in my videos just a few years ago. In fact, that's the reason this channel is actually a thing for the most part, right? Because we thought they were bringing a Superman game. I thought they were bringing a World's Finest game. That's one of my first videos that ever clocked any significant attention to the channel. I think at that time when I got no views, it brought 10,000 views. It was quite interesting, even though we didn't get that game. And I saw this other tweet that somebody also went ahead and, sent to me. So shout out to Angel Slickmoth. You sent me this tweet and you pretty much, tagged me in it. And I was like, okay, I wonder what's going on. So this person here, Sissy Space X, says this to Gotham Knights. Perhaps I treated you too harshly. And I know you did. You all did. You said that this was something this and something that and something this and something that. But many of you did not necessarily take into account that Batman was actually facing one of his most dangerous, villains. And in this world, the Ra's al Ghul that you see here is not the Ra's al Ghul in the Arkham games. So this Ra's al Ghul in Gotham Knights is a lot more dangerous than the Ra's al Ghul that we saw in the Arkhamverse. The Ra's al Ghul in the Arkhamverse was basically a relic of himself. It's pretty much kind of dying out. Whereas this one, I mean, he was on the business, man. He was following Batman. He basically ambushed Batman. I don't know exactly where, but he seems to have been studying and, used all the tactics that he had more than likely from the League of Shadows taught Batman to then go against them using some supernatural whatnot. And Batman was able to pretty much go ahead and take on him and still defeated him, even though it meant, destroying and taking himself out. But he not only defeated him, but also went ahead and shielded the Knights in that regard. So it wasn't even, say, according to what Synth Potato is saying here, some B-list team, and here's where the spoiler is, that gets to put their hands on Batman. So I strongly believe that, yes, there must have been some turmoil to take out the Batman with Gotham Knights, but they at least did not hide it from their marketing, unlike, say, The Last of Us Part 2, and I see this correlation. Oh, but it's like how they took out Joel. Nah, no, bro. I mean, Warner Bros. Montreal started out their marketing with Batman is dead. I mean, literally, the first thing we saw was Jason decrypt a message. That was the first thing we saw about Gotham Knights, where he says, if you're actually reading, if you're getting this message, then you know that I'm toast or something like that's what that's what he was telling Jason. So all of this, in my opinion, is actually quite interesting because he looks at it and he's like, man, this kind of Ra's al Ghul's attempt to come for me is not just to come for me, but it's to come for my legacy. This game was supposed to actually be called Arkham Legacy or something like that. The writing almost says that Batman is kind of extending his legacy in this regard, even though it's not an Arkham game. One of the first rumors we heard was that this game was going to be called Arkham Legacy. So possibly there was something along the lines of Legacy that had leaked itself out, and they decided to go with Gotham Knights, and pretty much, the Knights are somewhat Batman's legacy in this universe. This universe is solid. I know many people are, thrown off by the smash writing, but at the end of the day, beneath that is what I think were just some real Batman, fans that really did respect the world and the characters. Yes, some other writers had their own little ambitions that they wanted to basically squeeze in there, but it just seemed like somehow some sensibilities balance some potential off-the-cuff type things when the game came together at the end. I mean, we're seeing all this stuff in every video game. It's that these creatives right now, for some of them, they feel like an agenda is the main thing on the block. But eventually, we're going to start seeing competition come in. I think right now gaming is just, this ground where, because it takes so long to make video games, people are not yet dialed in as to how to actually hack the code and really provide what I think are strong elements of hero characters or characters that are coming in to entertain people. But once, we start breaking those walls down, and we don't have to lean on indies like Power World, but we can start getting some indie hero games and indie superhero titles, I think it's really going to eventually get these companies to kind of realize, like, hey, if you're going to treat a character in a specific way, you need to do it a way that respects the fans, even if you want to subvert expectations. But like I said, I came to collect, because I knew this day would come that people would eventually say, well, maybe we treated Gotham Knights a little too harshly. Of course you did, because you're not used to playing shooter games. Your library of video games and your palette is very, very, limited. It's not, I won't say limited. I think it's very, I would say, is very, selected. You've already selected the kinds of games you like. So a game that is in that selection that is outside of what you usually like is a little jarring for you. And then at the same time, when you mix it in with all of the stuff that the new writers are doing to their video game characters, you see this very interesting whiplash of a reaction going on. But I'll stop here. I'm done enjoying myself. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.